Asian Doll says men with children should date women with children. So kids with kids belong with kids. I can't do nothing. I can't do nobody else baby daddy. I'm sorry. I need my own. Yo, this is just like a weekly reminder that this pool literally said King Von told her after death to go get the old blockchains back. We don't need to really discuss too much in seriousness about any thought from this after we heard that, okay? Let's just move on. All right, let me see what else is going on. Oh, shit. Queso said, what? He said there's a weak case that they pinned on him. Lil Got It got some bullshit going on. Fans believe. Okay, we know we talked about that already. What else? Let me see. Okay, we talked about the Kendrick shit already. Muwop. Muwop is calling for the verdict to be reversed due to lack of evidence. It says acquittal for Muwop, lack of evidence. Free Marker Smart. I hate to be the person that's the bearer of bad news. Also, I love Muwop, and when I mean I love him, like I rooted for him. I watched somebody who I could tell, the lifestyle that he lived, and maybe even rapping. I saw somebody who you could tell he had no opportunities. Him being associated with some guys through rap, he got some opportunities. And when King Von died, like, I remember watching him on stage when Dirk was performing, like, took him to the O. All I saw in that nigga's face was hurt, bro. All I saw was hurt. Unfortunately, he's somebody who I feel genuinely would do anything, right? He'd do anything for the person who he's loyal to. And I wanted him to become an artist and be successful in his own right. But, obviously they booked him for the murder. I'm going to have to be honest with y'all, though, man. We can't take delusional this situation out. There's no lack of evidence. There's an overwhelming amount of evidence, okay? They got so much surveillance footage. They got like 3 angles of y'all doing everything. They got people telling on y'all. It's never been a more open and shut case. This is probably like, I don't even think there was even a doubt that these guys weren't going to get convicted. Unfortunately, he was not even alleged because it's already proven now. He was involved in the death of FBG Duck, and the feds have chose that for the remaining of his life, for the most part, he will be spending behind a prison wall. Still root for him. I'm hoping this is not the end for him. I'm hoping something good could come out of this, but brother, you're not getting out. I ain't gonna lie to you. And I hate to say it. I really hate to say it because it's gonna sound mean, but there's no lack of evidence. From the little, bruh, you could literally go on Google. Like, no disrespect. You could go on Google and be like, murder of FBG Duck video. Literally. Just type that in. And nigga. Oh no. This isn't the FBG Duck thing. Here we go. FBG Duck surveillance. Yeah. You type this in. Did they change it? Or did probably hit it? They probably hit FBG. Why can't I find it? Anyway.
5 alleged Chicago street gang members now facing federal charges in connection with the shooting death of a local rapper downtown. The charges announced today by the U.S. attorney, who says social media played a role in this case. Our Patrick Elwood live at the Dirksen Federal Building now with the latest. Pat?
Ben, and right you are, a brazen act of violence that took place on an August day in the Gold Coast against a Chicago rapper. And then it was promoted and bragged about on social media. And the feds say it was because of that helped them make this case. It was back in August of 2020 that Carlton Weekly, who went by the rapper name FBG Duck, was gunned down in the city's Gold Coast while shopping. A joint task force of law enforcement working together on this one. And today, CPT Superintendent David Brown says this is part of a bigger strategy to thwart gang violence and maximize prison.
Okay, I'm trying to show some of the evidence. Like, you know, he's saying lack of evidence. I want to show there's too much evidence. That's the problem. Like way too much evidence, right? Let's see.
FBG Duck's murder shocked the rap game back in 2020, but nobody was expecting the trial to get even crazier. From family members bringing knives to court, to other murders getting solved over the case, today we're breaking down all the wild things happening inside the courtroom so far. In August 2020, Duck was shopping in the Gold Coast neighborhood of Chicago. It's one of the richest parts of the city and doesn't have much violence, but that didn't stop 4 O-Block shooters from allegedly rolling up and letting off almost 40 shots in just a few seconds. Duck was...
Bro, they shot like 50 or 60 bullets outside a Louis V store downtown Chicago. I know we say Chicago and Chirac, but when we generally say that, we're talking about housing projects that usually, for the most part, the mayor won't care about the crime statistics there, right? Now, when we're talking about downtown where white people have to spend and exchange commerce with all these businesses that pay high rent and high taxes to be there, yes, if you kill a nigga down there, and now tourists don't want to shop there because they know a nigga with a switchy just let off crazy and niggas is bleeding out and people are dying. Yes, this is why the feds got involved. They looked at evidence. The feds came in for a slam dunk case. That's why they took it from Chicago Police Department. And yeah.
Was left bleeding out in the street after catching 16 bullets, and the cops just stood around while he slowly died. Duck had been beefing with the BDs for years, and most people thought O-Block was responsible from the jump. Murders go unsolved in Chicago all the time, but since Duck got killed in a nice area of the city in broad day, the cops took the case way more seriously, and even the feds got involved. They ended up bringing down a federal RICO case against O-Block and indicted C-Thang, C-Murder, Muwop, Los, Zell Money, and TZ for Duck's murder. Now 3 years later, the RICO is finally going to trial, and it's been a wild case from the start. Duck's mom has already been kicked out of the courtroom 3 times. The first time happened after they found a 1/4 ounce of weed on her, then she got into a fight with one of the defendant's moms, and the third time they had to ask her to leave after she lost control while they were playing footage of Duck's murder and autopsy in the courtroom. She's not the only family who's been kicked out of the court though. C-Murder's sister was found holding a box knife. Carrying a weapon in the courthouse is a big deal, but it turns out that she had a knife for her job and didn't catch a charge over it. Even members of the media are getting kicked out of the trial. A blogger named Mickey Truth was at the trial and reporting on what was going on behind closed doors since cameras aren't allowed during federal cases. But then she started capping about someone's testimony and caused some major issues. FBG Butter was close with Duck and got brought in to testify. After he took the stand, Mickey Truth told her followers that he was paid by the feds to testify, which turned out to be a complete lie. She said that either Butter or his mom got $2,700 to work with the cops, but none of that was true. Mickey Truth posted a correction later after Butter's mom hit her up, but Butter got super pressed about it and at one point tried to run out of the room where he was being held. The court was still going to let Mickey Truth watch the trial from a different room, but she decided to dip out of Chicago after the feds warned her that she was playing with some dangerous people. A month before Mickey Truth started causing issues, an FBI special agent named Kevin Doyle testified that the feds only searched cell phone records from 3 of the alleged shooters because they were worried about keeping witnesses safe. Doyle told the court there's been retaliation against witnesses in the past associated with this group. He didn't actually name the crew he was talking about, but everyone believes he was talking about O-Block killing witnesses if they found out who was talking. After he testified, some of the defense lawyers called for a mistrial because they thought Doyle made the trial unfair. Since this is a federal RICO case, the prosecution has to prove that O-Block is actually a criminal enterprise if they want to convict the shooters of murder and furtherance of racketeering.
Oh, I forgot that this was a RICO case, not just a murder case. Oh, wow.
Instead of it just being a normal murder. The judge said it wasn't enough to call for a mistrial, but the defense team tried again after Mickey Truth got tossed out of the courtroom. They said that Mickey getting kicked out violated her freedom of speech and the defendant's right to a public trial. It was a pretty weak argument though, and the judge decided to let the trial keep going. The feds have a 96% conviction rate in RICO cases, and the situation isn't looking good for the dudes from O-Block. So it makes sense that the lawyers will do whatever it takes to stop the trial. When the news first broke that O-Block was getting hit with a RICO, some people thought they'd beat the case, but that was before this next shocking evidence was revealed. The war in Chicago that eventually got Duck killed really kicked off around 2011 when a GD from Duck's set, STL EBT, named Tuka was shot and killed at a bus stop. Rumors said that a BD named Odie Perry was involved with the hit, and less than a year later, he was shot and killed while he was riding his bike down the street. O-Block was known as Wick City back then, but OD was so well respected that the hood changed its name in honor of him. Nobody was ever booked for killing him, but the most popular rumor is that FBG Butter and a girl who repped the GDs named KI were involved with the shooting. They allegedly went sliding on the ops on Tuka's birthday and caught OD by himself, and reports say that Butter confirmed the story during his testimony. After allegedly killing OD, KI became one of the most hated ops for O-Block. She was allegedly putting major pressure on him in the streets, but at the same time, she had a weird relationship with King Von. Von and some other BDs allegedly beat her up on the train and clowned her over the situation on Twitter. Then KI clapped back and said a 40 cal put a hole in their faces. They started out, but during FBG Duck's murder trial, Butter took the stand and finally told everyone who pulled the trigger. We don't have video of Butter's testimony since it's a Fed trial, but he told the courtroom that King Von was the one who killed KI. Butter's the only witness from what went down that day, and he told Cam Capone News that he only told them about Von killing her because Von is dead now. Butter caught a lot of heat for taking a stand, but he said he was just doing what he had to do and that nobody was getting jammed up over what he told the court. Butter said the reason he never told anyone that Von was the shooter back in the day is because Butter wanted to kill Von himself instead of getting them locked up. Butter said they all know what comes with the street life, and the ops weren't doing anything to them that they couldn't do back. Butter confirming that Von killed KI was crazy, but another testimony in the Duck trial was even more shocking.
I'm just trying to hear some of the evidence. Obviously, we know the surveillance footage. Well, I want to hear what else.
Trenches News has been posting videos about the war in Chicago for years and always claimed to know a lot of the dudes involved on both sides because he lived in the area. Nobody knew who he was though, because he always wears a face mask in his videos to protect his identity. A couple weeks after the trial started, rumors were flying that Trenches News was going to testify in the trial, but in an interview with No Jumper, he made it sound like it was all cap and said that he's not part of nothing. Then the news broke that Trenches really was taking the stand, but nobody was expecting what happened next. Trenches didn't just testify about O-Block and the GDs. It turns out he's been a paid informant with the FBI for almost a decade. They revealed his real name, and he used to live in O-Block back in the day. During his testimony, Trenches News identified some of the O-Block dudes in the surveillance footage from Duck's murder and made jokes about him being the Michael Jordan of YouTube. He told the court that he was a BD who lived in O-Block back in the day, but he ended up switching sides around 2010 when he had some internal drama over there and got shot. After he started rocking with the GDs, he got tight with Duck, and right after he was killed, Trenches News reached out to the cops and offered to help him with the investigation. He said that he doesn't gangbang anymore and uses his YouTube channel to keep kids from going down the same path he did. But during the same testimony, he talked about the first time he shot an op in the street and called it a rush. The FBI special agent, Kevin Doyle, testified that the feds had paid Trenches News around $25K for his help. He said that Trenches would provide background information, review surveillance footage, and social media posts. According to Trenches News, he became an informant all the way back in 2006 after he was arrested by a corrupt Chicago cop named Ronald Watts. Watts was a notorious cop in the streets who was known for shaking down drug dealers and taking bribes. Anyone who didn't pay up would get arrested, and the situation got so wild that the FBI, ATF, and local cops all got involved with the investigation. In 2011, a homeless dude told Watts and another cop that he was moving cash for a drug dealer that day. They ended up robbing him for $5,200. But what they didn't know is that the homeless guy was actually a federal informant who was being used to set him up. Watts ended up pleading guilty in 2013, and the city of Chicago had to throw out over 200 convictions that Officer Watts had been involved with. According to Trenches News, Officer Watts booked him in 2006 and said, "He asked me, did I want to go to jail or did I want my money? I said, I'll go to jail. He took me to jail. I got up with the feds as soon as I got out." What was weird about the situation, though, is that Trenches News said he didn't remember working with the FBI in 2008 and 2011, even though the lawyer showed paperwork proving he was cooperating with them back then. According to Trenches News, though, his memory is all messed up because he got shot in the head back in 2004 and it's still affecting him. A big part of this whole case is the prosecution proving that O-Block is a gang and that the 6 dudes they indicted killed Duck for the proof. And according to them, this is why Duck became their biggest op and King Von allegedly put a bag on his head. Duck came up repping the STL EBT set of the GDs because his older brother Brick was already affiliated with them. Brick had a reputation in the streets, but Duck made his own lane and became known for throwing hands with the ops and allegedly never lost a fight. Duck was really tight with Tuka, who was allegedly killed by Odie Perry from Wick City. After Tuka's death, a lot of his homies started repping Tukaville, and Duck always kept Tuka's name alive in his raps. Trenches News claimed that after Duck and his homies like Billionaire Black and King Yella decided to hop in the booth, he's the one who helped him get everything started. Around that same time, the BDs in Chicago were really taking over the rap game after Chief Keef blew up off the track I Don't Like. Lil Reese and Durk were popping off too, and Trenches News claims they were trying to get Duck and his homies blackballed in the industry. Duck still got some shine in the drill scene, but at the same time, he never really left the streets. Back in 2013, someone caught him outside a liquor store and started letting off shots, but Duck only got hit once in the leg and made it out alive. He had been shot before that in the ankle too, but Duck told DJ Vlad that he was never going to leave Chicago because he knew how to move safely and how to take care of all of his people. Unfortunately, Duck took another massive loss in 2017 after his brother FBG Brick and his cousin Kobe Mack were both killed in a drive-by shooting. Duck kept it pushing in the rap game though, and finally popped off with the track Slide, but his losses in the street kept coming. Duck's homie Dusky the Man got shot and killed. Then at his funeral, Duck's friend Wooski was shot in the head after the ops slid through busting off shots at the church. Rumors say King Von was behind the plan to catch him at the funeral. And on the track Back Again, Von rapped, "At your funeral, I might just slide. Rest in peace. Shout out everybody that's outside. Bet Wooski feel this one. I bet Wooski's still twitching. He changed, something different." Then Von and Mimo 600 dropped the track Exposing Me, and Von took shots at Tuka with the line, "Yo homie died, I'm smoking that. I'm tired of smelling Tuka and Lil Mark, and I'm tired of scrap." Duck and his homie Ruger clapped back with the remix of the track, and Duck clowned a bunch of Von's dead homies when he raps, "He got caught in traffic, Waldo ain't get to finish his status. He on the internet laughing, capping, then got caught without it. Yo homie, he dead. You heard what I said. Sharoid, D-Thing, and Tirehead." He also clowned Mimo's brother Lil Steve, who had been shot and killed, and raps, These mentioning Tuka, I'll fuck around, send you to meet him. I don't got my Glock. When I see an op on pro, I'ma beat him. I'm smoking Lil Steve, can't breathe, thinking it's over. I wish I was right there when Lil Boo got slumped. I would've ran this shit over. Then a month before he was killed, Doug took more shots at Von's homies on the track dead and raps. Made Chicago legends? Shit, that was just about business. Said I wasn't gonna diss the dead, and okay, I did it. But T-Roy and OD, they're dead. According to the prosecutors, someone in O Block put a 50K bounty on Duck's head, then raised it to 100K. Most people believe it was Von who put the hit out on Duck, and after his murder went down, Von allegedly spent over 100K on O Block chains for the homie. Von's homie Lil Durk also confirmed that Duck was one of their biggest ops. He's still taking shots at him even after he died, like on the
All right, man. Cool. Anyway, did you guys see the? I think I could play it. Hopefully, it's not copywritten. But what's the name of that thing again? On the Radar freestyle. What's the name went crazy recently? Fabio Foreign went crazy. Which, by the way, hey, if you ever wonder, is Meek Mill finished? This is all you got to see. Meek 8 days ago, 299 views. 299,000 views 8 days ago. Fabio Foreign.
So Muwop says that they don't have enough evidence for him to stay locked up, and he said free Muwop, whoever his name was, like Marcus. I think that's what he said his name was, Marcus something. But man, like, we love Von and we love all that stuff that, you feel me? Well, the music, but bro, it was caught in 4K, bro. Like, stop saying for you, bro. It's done. Like, it was cool when you did it, but like, I feel like when people do something, they don't think about the consequences afterwards. Like, you did that, okay, you went and killed y'all biggest op, but now you're gonna spend the rest of your life behind, like, in a cell. And they probably had this whole hype shit before they even did it. Oh, if none of us tell, we gonna make it out. Like, no one would even know. Or like, they probably weren't even thinking about getting locked up. They just rushed. Like, they got the drop, and like, I ain't gonna lie, I know this is how niggas is, and it's sad that niggas is this way, bro. If a bunch of niggas are together, they do not want to seem pussy. So if they get the drop on a op, they're not gonna sit there and be like, oh, we shouldn't do it. Nah, if someone does it, they're gonna look pussy. So everyone just rushes. Like, okay, they're not thinking anything. They're just ready to crash out. And they crashed out. They did what they had to do. And you feel me? It was 100 band bounty on his head. And they got that 100 bands. But is 100 bands worth the rest of your life in prison, 30, 40, 50 years in prison? That's $2,000 a year being free. Like, man, I don't even know what to say. The next time they come out as free men, you feel me? There might be flying cars being regular. There might be, you feel me? It's gonna be a whole new world. But hey, let me know how you guys feel about everything. I hope everyone, you feel me? It's sad. Von's dead. Duck's dead. You feel me? I hope the O Block 5 that did what they did, I hope they turn to better people. You feel me? If they get freed, then that's good for them, but they most likely won't. And yeah, let me know how you guys feel about everything. It's your boy Big Act News. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I'm out.